Hello there and welcome to this video. So this is the second video on my biological databases project, and in the first video we focused mainly on data collection part, and for data collection I used Selenium as well as Beautiful Soup in Python. In this video we'll be focusing on the REST API, and for building the REST API I used Flask RESTful extension of Flask. So we have the server running here. So once our data collection bot had finished execution, we were left with a total of 7,252 sequences and their properties which were scraped by the bot. And each of these sequences were stored in the form of Python dictionary inside a pickle file. So the next task was to upload all of this data into a database, and I chose MongoDB as my database for this project, since MongoDB can easily handle JSON-like data, and it was built for that purpose. So since there's more than 7,000 sequences that had to be uploaded into the database, I wrote a Python program to upload them automatically. So we have the database setup here. So I used MongoDB Atlas, and all of our 7,252 sequences have been uploaded successfully, and it occupies a total size of 180.11 MB. And let's take a look at some of the first documents or sequences. So you can observe all the properties that have been stored in the database. So like gene, original link, then record, description, species, gene, synonyms, chromosomal equation, about this gene, CCDS, Unicode ID, the sequence and so on. So let's get into the REST API. So our server is running. So the REST API server helps us to serve the data that has been stored in the database as requested by a client, and we can also pass parameters in our GET request to filter out the sequences. So here I have given gene equal to POL-R1F, and so our server is actually running at localhost 5000, and our REST API server is at the root /find/, and that will take some time to load, because it loads in all of the sequences that have been stored in our database, and yes, I mentioned earlier it's more than 180 MB, so that will take some time. Let's just stop that loading, and we can pass parameters. So the question mark, then before I gave it as gene equal to POL-R1F, and so we can pass multiple parameters in the GET request as well. So let's use an ampersand for that. Ampersand, species equal to human. So this time we'll get only one sequence, while in the previous case we'll get 4 sequences from 4 different species having the same gene with the name POL-R1F. And I know this isn't user friendly and it's really hard to read, but we'll cover all of those disadvantages while building our interface, and the interface will be much more user friendlier and easier to read. So we just looked at gene equal to POL-R1F and species equal to human. Now even the gene name isn't compulsory, so let's just give species equal to dog. And we get all the sequences associated with the species dog. So there's a lot of sequences which are being loaded in for the filter species equal to dog. And that's it for this video. So thus we have successfully built a REST API to serve gene sequences associated with epigenetics. So in the next video we'll be focusing on the interface, and I hope you found this video useful. Thank you.